When you think about the most amazing space you've ever been in, it's probably a special night out that you got dolled up for and you went to the cool restaurant with the amazing food and the amazing decor, the one with the vibrant colors and the beautifully designed furniture. Or you've been on vacation and we upgrade our entire lives for those couple of days, but then you come home and again, you're just stuck in stagnation. You're stuck in a room, in a home that is just blah. And we're not fucking blah. Let's start making our spaces reflect that. My name is Carmen Cervantes. I'm an architectural designer, and I've been designing amazing spaces for others for the past 12 plus years. And unfortunately, I'm like the cobbler with no shoes. I make wonderful environments for others, fully knowing that an environment has a deep impact on our lives, on what we believe, on our health, on how we live. You should not be waiting to be rich to live beautifully. You should live beautifully so that you can become rich and sane and grounded. Let's go through the process of how I think through a space so that you too can begin to really understand the steps to make your space your own. First thing you need to do is understand how you want to feel in that space, who you want to be in that space. So my husband and I have been working on this space, and we really wanted to create a grown-up environment that was sexy, chic, comforting, restful, peaceful. The priority for this space was for it to be uncluttered, feel grown up, feel luxurious. And so the foundational style is really minimalist and mid-century modern. I know this will be a successful space if it does three things, and you should consider these questions when you're designing as well. Does it solve a problem? Is it attainable? So is it actually within your budget? And does it make you feel like the words that you originally described? Let's look at, does it solve a problem? What are my problems? I have small space, 9 by 10, roughly, and I have a small closet. The main problems are space constraints, storage constraints, and ensuring that I have a good balance of bed size to the rest of the space, enough circulation space versus how much space the bed is going to take up. My closet is about 5 feet wide, typical urban environment, bedroom and closet. And I can only do so much. We will install a closet tower organizer so we can have multi-tiers of hanging, but I didn't want to bring in a dresser. I don't want to clutter the space visually. I don't want to take up room and plan. And the bed does that. The bed gives me the drawer space that I'm going to need for anything that I would have folded and put into a dresser. We have a 7-year-old. If you haven't seen the design video for her room, go back and look at that. But if you have a kid, you fully understand how your life is just full of clutter and crap and stuff you do not want to be seeing day to day. This room is off limits for anybody else except my husband and I. That disclaimer aside, let's now jump into the design. We both like the more quote unquote masculine aesthetic. We're starting off with a dark base color for the entire room, including the ceiling. Contrary to popular belief, painting the ceiling and the floor and the trim and everything the same color actually makes your room feel kind of endless because you don't have a visual stop. If our ceiling was a different color from our walls, you now have this datum line where your brain recognizes, oh, something's different here. You start finding starts and stops, and that creates a less harmonious space. Along with the minimalist style, I really wanted to find a bed that would have kind of a sleek, low profile headboard. And I found something similar, but nothing was really working. The headboard generally anchors your bed, but there was nothing I could find. So we are building our own. And by making this the width of the entire room, again, you're tricking the eye to feel like it is bigger. I furred out the wall about 6.5 inches. We're going to put a 2 by 8 above to create this ledge for books, For anything decorative, I definitely want to find some cool decorative glassware, maybe a carafe for my husband who does get up in the middle of the night to drink some water. And this Ferdalt wall is covered in a concrete style wallpaper. I love wallpaper. If nothing else in your space, literally installing a wallpaper has a massive impact. It is an inexpensive, easy way to totally transform this space. Adding this concrete look wallpaper brings in some more depth and warmth because of the variety that the pattern has. You've got your mid-gray field color, but then you've got darker splotches. You've got lighter divots here and there. It brings in a faux natural material. And natural materials automatically make you feel better. Above the headboard is going to be the focal point, along with the headboard. The top 2/3 will be this particle board slat wall that I found on Home Depot. Super inexpensive for something that would look like this. And that's the whole point. The whole point of this channel, the whole point of Home Within Your House is to really create beautifully designed spaces inexpensively, but that don't look cheap. And the only way to do that is to really plan the entire room. I could have just said, oh, look, I love this light and let me just put this light in. But nothing else would look the same. Bringing in that one really amazing piece does not elevate your entire space. You need to consider everything. And if you want to learn more about the tips and tricks and principles of design, like repetition and balance and creating harmony and light temperature color, complementary colors, all of that, I've created an amazing resource that I typically sell for $33. But if you head over to my school community, it is absolutely free. It is over 80 pages of design vocabulary, what words fit with what exterior and interior design styles, and then a ton of information that I use on a daily basis when designing these spaces for clients, for friends, for myself. If you're interested, head over there. Link is in the show notes below. One of the main principles of good design is visual repetition. You know you have a successful space when your eye is constantly moving around the room and you're starting to appreciate different elements. By layering your window treatments, you create more depth, more warmth, more interest in this area. We've got sheer drapes that are going closer to the window, and then on the tier in front of it, we've got the heavier, more luxurious drapes. The idea is that your sheer drapes will remain closed and you still get that sunlight, but you have a system for closing and privacy at night as needed. And these lines that are created by the heavier drapes, the repetition of that brings your eye towards the flat wall, the repetition again. You're mirroring those vertical lines, and that brings your eye to the other side of the room, which then captures so many things. You also want to create some harmony by incorporating same materials in different places. The paint color picks up on some of the colors within the wallpaper. The floating side tables are the same walnut-ish material as what is represented in that slat wall. And then we have this high pile rug that anchors the bed. We'll pick up some of the colors in the pillow linens and other things. Let's talk now about budget. The second criteria. Is it attainable? I want this space to be magazine worthy. I want all of your spaces to be magazine worthy. You need to create a really wonderful environment so that you can level up, so that you can face life happily each day. Again, when you're on vacation and you wake up in this amazing room, you feel like a different person. You feel like the person you're working toward. And I'm here for that. Let's get you there by curating, by really intelligently designing and considering all these things that you can actually do now in your space. And that's not to say, oh, magically you're going to be able to afford all these beautiful things that you see elsewhere. What I'm saying is that as we grow, as we go through our journey towards becoming who we know ourselves to be, there's a way to find less expensive alternatives. And as you take each step closer to your financial goals, closer to your life goals, you can then up level, right? The flat wall is particle board. Would I ideally want actual walnut strips of wood? Yes. Do I have the budget for that? No. But for now, what you need to focus on is just to have your space look like you need it to look so that it reflects back the image that you're working towards. As your money and your budget increase, you will increase the quality of the materials. But ultimately, let's work with where we are now because our space is holding us back. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'm tired of not living my fullest potential, and baby, here I come.